Yo, it's Friday night, 9 p.m. sharp. You know what time it is.
NarcoCop and Timmy T hitting you with that Lambo energy.
He's Mike by name, but the streets call NarcoCop. Used to bust dealers, now he's busting long shots. Retired badge, now he's bad with the bets. Octagon fiend, cashing slips, no regrets. Friday night fight, Seki poured on ice. Lambo Plays podcast, breaking down the price. Got parlays, KO, subs in round 3. Split decision magic, cash it like a G. Lambo Plays, it's a wild parade. Long shots flying, getting that paid. Tim with impressions, Narco's got the locks. Whisper bet of the week, gonna shock your socks. Lambo Plays, the odds go cray. Spin that wheel, it's a betting ballet. KO's a B, round 2 or 3. Hit that split, cashing big, LFG. Tim Troiano, lotion in hand. Tennis coach by day, fight fan of the land. Watching WMMA, yeah, you know the drill. Playing with himself, just joking, but still. Impressions fly, Katona in the house. Rose's Jr. squeaking, Tim's loud like a mouse. Cornholio vibes, he's stealing the show. Narcos like bruh, but they still go toe to toe. Round 2 chaos, round 3 gold. Split decisions, bets unfold. Side case sipping, parlays lit. Lambo energy, never quit. Lambo Plays, it's a wild parade. Long shots flying, getting that paid. Tim with impressions, Narco's got the locks. Whisper bet of the week, gonna shock your socks. Lambo Plays, the odds go cray. Spin that wheel, it's a betting ballet. KOSOB, round 2 or 3. Hit that split, cashing big, LFG. NarcoCop, Timmy T, Friday nights, yeah. A Lambo Plays podcast, where long shots live large and splits hit harder. We out. We out. We out.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to NarcoCop MMA. I'm your host, Mike, and this is the Lambo Plays podcast, episode 161, UFC Mexico. Tim is out this week. He is in a tennis tournament, I believe, somewhere in Michigan or something, so he's not going to be here, but we do have a special guest here today, a first-time appearance for this gentleman. Before we bring him in, let me go over to my chat and shout out my chat. We are, by the way, we are in Mexico. We are at elevation, 7,700 feet of elevation. People gassing this shit. All types of sloppy stuff happens. So keep that into account when you're betting tomorrow or today or whenever. And yeah, let me go over and shout out my chat really quick. Elijah Juan, let's effing go. Mushroom, what's up, Narco? And JB, 19 hours, 52 minutes, and 9.4286 seconds until violence. I appreciate you down to the 4 decimal points. Oh, you're getting better and better every week, Mushroom, I have to say. Azure, welcome and thank you to NarcoCop and MMA Jewish Bettor. If X won't let you promote yourself, we will help. I appreciate that. You always help. Thank you very, very much. That boy says, I hear you can be anywhere in the world and still cash on the Discord. That's a powerful group. Appreciate you, my man, because we just actually cashed. Big dog almost came through, but we got the other side on the live, so that was good. Craig Crowley, what's up, my man? Thank you for joining as well. Yes, Freak, Scottsdale, Arizona treadmill team has arrived. Oreo, what's up, my man? By the way, I do see some people on Rumble. Please like, subscribe, comment there. Appreciate you guys there. I'm trying to grow my Rumble more and more. YouTube's acting a little funny lately, so we're going to have to grow other avenues for content. DO7, will the Mexican judges cook for their fighters tomorrow? Odds line on that, I think they're going to cook probably. Not too much. I would say minus 250. Felipe, looking forward to the show. Appreciate you. Kyle Larson says, let's go. Julio, let's go, my man. Thank you for joining as well. Glenbot, what's up, my man? Blunt Force, too much chalk this week. Need some spicy Mexican Lambos to cash those pesos. Ronald, ready for the forensic breakdown. Let's effing go. Appreciate you, Ronald. Thank you for joining. Ronald might be a new guy in here, but I appreciate you. Thank you for joining and in the live show. Breaking Bad, what's up, my man? Thank you for joining as well. What else do we have here? Boogie Down, what's up, my man? Saffron says, we want tacos. You're going to get a lot of tacos and some burritos. Ryan, oh, shit, let's go. The opening jam is a banger. Appreciate that. Rude One, let's effing go. Bust out some extra lotion for Nah. Tim is done. Tim is in Michigan. No lotion for him. No lotion for him. Jake, what's up, my man? All right. Got 107 live viewers. Let's kick that number up. We need to get to at least 500, maybe 1,000. We'll see what happens. Like, share, comment, do whatever you need to do. Get this chat pumping. Without further ado, I will bring in my guest, MMA Jewish Bettor. What's up, my man? UFC Mexico. 13 fights, I believe, here. Good main event. The rest of the card, I don't know. I love UFC cards. I said this in my breakdown earlier in the week. I don't mind any UFC card as long as I could bet on it. This is a fucking tough card to bet on.
I know, bro. This is like, I get my moment. I'm on the Lambo Plays show, and it's UFC Mexico. But you know what, bro? Those, it doesn't stop us from hitting a Lambo. That's all I'll say. But it is a tough card.
Yeah, this is a very, very tough card because when you look at these prices where everybody's 700 and 600 and 400, it's very, very hard to find good props to play. The props are usually nuked. They're crap lines just because the money lines are so big. Now, if you go on the dog side and you find a prop, that's a different story. Then you probably get good numbers on the props, But some of these matches that are such huge squash matches, it's impossible to even look at the dog way, for me at least. For me.
I totally get it. You got to pick a round and a method on some of the favorites because it's so juiced. But yeah, no, it's a lot of tacos and burritos coming, Narco. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's start out here. First fight of the night, and it is in the middleweight division. It is the 8-1 Damian Pinas versus the 8-2 Wes Schultz, and these odds have changed a little bit here. We're currently looking at minus 250, and the comeback is plus 205 on Schultz. All of these odds were going to be on I'm going to read on DraftKings. So minus 250, plus 205. Grappler versus striker, MMA Jewish Bettor, your first ever Lambo play. Give it out.
Yeah, nice. Let's go, dude. Like you said, it's a super binary matchup. The first thing we should obviously mention and everybody should know is this fight's in elevation, so it's going to be a lot of chaos this week, a lot of randomness. But we got Baba Yaga in one corner. The first thing I noticed about this guy is he has one loss on his record. He doesn't have a lot of fights, but he's got one loss. It was an illegal kick, bro. So he got disqualified. It's not like the guy got beat out, lost his fight. And this guy's got very clean boxing. 1-2s are very dangerous. He'll stun you with the jab. And then while you're on, you're thinking about what the hell just hit you, the next one puts you to sleep. So his offense is very dangerous. He's got offense from everywhere. You shoot a takedown on him, he'll start just elbowing you, similar to how Blades did Almeida in that fight. I could even see him putting Schultz out or damaging him bad with elbows there. It's sometimes it's not a good idea to elbow people, right? Because you're giving up the takedown. You're not fighting the grips. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. But this guy could hurt you from a lot of positions. I've seen him do it in a lot of fights. So, yeah, the problem with him is his defense. He does get hit. He relies on his durability way more than, defense. And that could be a problem versus, more dangerous strikers. When he's on the ground, I don't like a lot of what I've seen. Some of these fights are from a while ago, and he's super young. So I do think he's going to be improving, but he doesn't defend the takedowns properly, in my opinion. He's holding on to guillotines when he should be letting go of them. I've seen him mounted taken down. So I think Wes Schultz could get his grappling going. Wes Schultz, though, on the other end, he's lost to UFC competition. Budka did not have the best UFC run, but lost to him. So that could be a thing. And then Mansour, that fight was, tough for him. He wound up getting ground and pound knocked out in the second round, but he had some moments in that fight. Mansour and I think Budka are better grapplers on paper than Pinas. So yeah, I think Pinas probably could get him, early, knock him out. But I also think this guy could take him down. He gets the fight to the mat. I think that's where he, could shine here. So that Suloev stretch was nice. I think it's either Pinas, KO. The number is super juiced though. So I think I'm gonna go with Schultz by sub here. It's for round 1 plus 700, round 2 sub plus 1600. I think if he's having success, he could get it done. It's gonna be tough though, because his striking is rough, and to get to the takedowns, I think he's gonna go through a lot.
Yeah. So a couple of things on this fight. One, Pinas is very, very green. I mean, this guy's only been I'm not talking about fighting, right? I'm not talking about pro fighting. This guy's only been training. He's only been training since he was 18 years old, 5 years ago. This guy started training 5 years ago. Okay, so he's extremely, and then there was I read the article on him where he was, being interviewed, and they asked him, did you do anything, any type of combat sport, wrestling, karate? None. He did absolutely none of them. He said he played soccer. So this guy is super, super green, right? You have to remember that when you're either betting, on his side or against him, you got to remember this guy's going to make mistakes. Is he going to improve? I think he's going to improve leaps and bounds every time he fights, right? Because of how green he is, how little of MMA experience he has, right? This guy doesn't have an amateur career. He's got 0 amateur fights. He went right into the pros, albeit it was in Aruba or whatever, it was very, very low level. Like we're talking the bottom of the barrel, right? The thing with him is he's been training at Nova União, which is really, really good. Like it's a good gym in Brazil. Not the best, but a very, very solid gym, right? He's getting good looks, good coaches. And he's leveled up, right? He's a blue belt now, apparently. I wouldn't consider him good on the ground, put it that way. There was one fight in particular against Carlos Matos. You were talking about him pulling guillotine. He almost got Von Flute in that fight. You could see he was turning colors, and then he just powered out of it because the guy is like a physical freak, man. Like there's another fight. I think Johnny Gregory got him down early, right? It wasn't about using technique. It was just literally all physical, and just the guy just popped right back up because he is so strong and he's so physical that he was able to get up, right? I don't think he does much right on the ground. He's kind of lost, to be honest, but he's such a physical specimen that he's able to get up. Similar to, I'm not going to compare him to Lewis, but Lewis does all the wrong things to get up, but he gets up, right? Because he's so big and strong. This guy's kind of similar in that sense, but he's more athletic and strong. So I did see that on tape. The other thing I didn't like from Pinas is that he shells up a lot, like just taking punches. Like he does this, takes punches, and then he counters you with a big shot, right? I don't like that because against good strikers, you're going to eat an uppercut when you're doing that. You're going to get punches behind the ear doing that, just shelling up. So he's got to, I think he's got to refine that. He cannot just shell up and let guys unload on you, right? I don't think Wes Schultz is going to do anything, honestly, on the feet. I don't think he's very good. Maybe like a head kick or something. He throws those wild fucking head kicks. But standing, he's just not very good. I mean, his defense is very bad. That's what Pinas can exploit. He's got big power, huge power. When I tell you huge power, I've never seen this before, and I put it on Twitter. Carlos Matos goes for a takedown in second round, guys. He is completely sprawled wide against the fence. Defending the takedown is Pinas. He goes under his leg and punches Matos and he knocks him out, dude, flat on his face. It was like insane. I'm like, how do you even generate power there? You're sprawled out, you're defending a takedown, and you land under like his arm, and you land this punch and knock this dude out. It was crazy. So he has huge power. Schultz is a punching bag, but I do think that Schultz could get an opportunistic sub because Pinas makes so many mistakes when he's getting up. He's using all power, no technique. I feel like both guys have shit cardio. I will tell you that. I don't think Schultz has good cardio. I don't think Pinas has good cardio because I've seen him. He was really slowing down in that Matos fight in round 2. So I don't think his cardio is any good. I mean, the only play I could give here is Schultz by sub. It's plus 460. I mean, I don't love it, to be honest, because it's not a great line. Like him being a plus 210 and the prop being a plus 460 is not the best. But I think that's his path. I don't think he's knocking out Pinas. I don't think he's winning a decision. I doubt this fight's going to decision. So it's like he's either going to find a sub or he's going to go to sleep. That's just what it is. And he said in his interview, he needs that bonus check for fight of the night. So he's coming for war, I guess, but he's such a punching bag that, I like Abdul Malik. I think this guy hits much harder than Malik, to be honest. Pinas does. So we'll see what happens. For me, it's going to be a sub here. It's just the line, What am I going to play? KO at minus money on Pinas? Like, you can't play that. Let's see what we have here in chat. Ozzy Time says, too much money on Schultz. Shit, screaming Pinas. I know, man. That's the other thing. I mentioned this. I feel like everybody and their mothers is on Schultz, and the line has gone the other way. Pinas is minus 268 now. So if there's a clear indication of bad money compared to sharp money looks like it's on Pinas. Bad money looks like it's on Schultz, but I don't know. It's MMA at the end of the day, and it's a lot different than ball sports. Brian Fisher says elevation's much more sub guys looking for a way out. Yeah, I tend to agree. That could be the case, being that both guys are tired too. I think like knocking someone out is a little bit more difficult than finding a sub versus a tired guy. Yeah, I agree with that in a sense. All right, let's move on. Fight number 2. It is in the featherweight division, and it is the 8-3 Francis Marshall versus the 9-3 Eric Silva. Marshall currently actually same price, minus 725, and the comeback on Eric Silva, 525. We're going to break this down pretty quick. I don't want to go too long in this fight, but Eric Silva, 38 years old, not a spring chicken. He's turning 39 in a couple of weeks here. He's been out of the cage, guys, for 2 years. That's a red flag. Prior to that, he was out of the cage another year and a half. So this guy's had one fight in 4 years. He's got one fight and in a grand total of 44 seconds in that one fight. So he's been in the ring for 44 seconds. That's it in 4 years. And now he's 38. So when he last fought a real fight, he was 34 years old. I mean, it's kind of crazy. So he opened up his own gym. I can tell you that in Mexico. He has his own gym. It's called Silva something, MMA or something, right? It's his own gym. He obviously knows that he needs a path of income. UFC is not going to be for him. Obviously, 38 years old, coming off a leg injury, like a weird leg injury where he popped his knee. And I guess the recovery was really bad from what I read because that's what kept him out for 2 years. I don't want to say he's like the worst fighter, honestly. That's the thing. I really don't want to say he's the worst fighter. I think he's kind of dangerous early. Like he's shooting takedowns. He's throwing some wild strikes. He can get your back. Like there was a position he reversed on TJ Brown. He got his back early. So he's not the worst guy, honestly, early. And you could see like he's got a lot of round 1 finishes, right? So it's kind of dangerous early. But his gas tank goes out the window like 7 minutes in. Like he gets very, very tired. And now off a 2-year layoff, being this old, elevation, whatever. I think he trains out there anyway, somewhere in Mexico. But he's facing a guy in Francis Marshall who's 12 years younger. He's clearly improving. I really like what I see from Francis Marshall. Moving over from Pellegrino's gym to Florida is the best move he could have possibly done. He's with killers every day, right? He's training with killers every fucking day. And you could see the improvement from the Bazooka fight to the Marion Santos fight. I mean, he was kind of outstriking Marion Santos at certain points of that fight, which is very, very surprising. He dropped Santos early in that fight. And a lot of people are saying, calling it a robbery. I don't think it was a robbery, but I think Marshall kind of clearly won. I wouldn't call it a robbery just because Santos did have some good moments, but I think Marshall was deserving of the win, which is fucking bullshit that they gave it to Santos. And this, you go from Marion Santos, Isaac Dalgarian, William Gomes to fucking Eric Silva. I mean, it's a monstrous step down for Francis Marshall. And like I said, Eric Silva's dangerous early. I don't think Marshall's like the biggest finisher. That's the thing. I really don't think. But I think he's got the way better cardio. He's younger. He's got better. He's better everywhere, in my opinion. And I just think he's going to break Eric Silva. I'm going to go with 2-3 KO instead of 2-3 sub, just because I think he can either pound out Silva or just stop him on the feet, because he's a much better striker too, Marshall, from what I've seen. So KO 2-3 is plus 600. That's how I'm going to go. It could be sub 2-3, to be honest, but I'm going with the bigger number in KO 2-3 here.
Yeah, I don't think Eric Silva's, his offensive jiu-jitsu is pretty solid, right? Like you said, he could take the back, but his defensive jiu-jitsu is really poor. Marshall, like you said, moving to, a gym with a lot of killers. He trains a lot with Grant Dawson. I think that's his guy. That grappling is going to be on point there. So even if he does get his back taken here, I think he's going to get it done. And coming off of those split decision losses, bro, I think he's going to push the finish here, bro. And yeah, I'm taking him, I think, to get the KO. That last injury was not good. And now Silva's getting older. He's 39. The number is way better on the KO. The TJ Brown fight, though, showed me that this guy can be had in the grappling as well. So I will not be shocked if he submits him. But yeah, it could be ground and pound, could be on the feet. Seen him hurt Rojo, knocked him out in the second round. He also dropped Bazooka, it was, in the second round. Hurt him with a big shot. I actually thought he might have got him out of there, but it wound up, going late. So, yeah, I'm with you on this one. I like it. I might even wind up putting it in a Lambo, but 2-3 KO, some pretty decent numbers on those. Like you said, bro, it could be the sub, though. I wouldn't be shocked if he wrapped up a choke.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I saw. Like a guy like Marcelo Rojo is not similar to Silva. He's more of a striker, obviously, but he's a tough dude. Like Rojo is tough. And you saw him just finish him in round 2. And honestly, the Bazooka one, I would say like fucking 90% of the people would be finished there, honestly. Bazooka's very, very tough. So if that was Eric Silva, he would be completely toast there. So, yeah, I mean, he should absolutely destroy him. France is going to dog walk him. Yeah, I mean,
I agree.
This is probably my most confident, obviously it's minus 700. Like there's no playing, but I really don't see he should be minus 1,000, honestly. Like Silva's win condition is sub 1. It can't happen more than 10% of the time. Like there's no way. That's it. He's not winning any other way. It's sub 1 or bust. So yeah, let's see here. Silva something, MMA something got to change. Silva something, MMA something is changing the game. Am I missing something?
I don't know, bro. I don't know what he's saying.
Wait, hold on. I gotta get Silva something, MMA something is changing the game. And he has a picture of a gorilla smoking a blunt. Something's wrong. This guy's high. This guy's gotta be. Gus, you gotta be high. Let's see here. Ozzy Time says, to be fair, he looked like he was on the good juice on the scales today, but yeah, That alone won't win you a fight. Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna matter. Silva always actually looks in really good shape, honestly.
Yeah.
He does. He's always in good shape. He just doesn't have the skills. He doesn't have the cardio. He's honestly not a UFC level fighter. Let's put it that way. He really isn't. But he's here. This is probably his last fight of his contract, I would imagine.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Let's move on. Fight number 3. It is in the flyweight division, and it is the 7-0 Regina Tarin versus the 6-1-1 Ernesta Kareckaite. And currently, the line's a little bit different. -164 on Kareckaite with the comeback on Tarin at +144. Tarin coming in here short notice. Supposedly, this was supposed to be originally said at at 130 pounds, but I think they weighed in at 125, if I'm not mistaken. Unless I'm wrong. Oh, no, I am wrong. They did weigh in at 129 and a half and 130. Okay, so it is at 130 catch weight obviously for Tarin. She came in on short notice. This one's yours, but I just to let you guys know, Tarin, very, very short notice here, guys. This is like 3 or 4 days, maybe 3, I think, 3-day notice. So it's extremely short notice. She is training in Mexico, and she was training for, I believe, either kickboxing or a Muay Thai fight. So she was training for a fight this weekend. Yesterday, it was actually supposed to happen yesterday, but it's a completely different fight. It wasn't an MMA fight. But go ahead, Jewish Bettor. Let me do something really quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're good. You're good, boss. I got to do a little more film on this one, guys. I did watch Kareckaite as she was supposed to fight Montenegro, seeing a bunch of steam come in on Montenegro, and then mysteriously the fight gets canceled. So Narco already mentioned it a little bit. Short notice fight. She's 21 years old only, and she's been looking to get to the UFC for a while now. Like Narco said, she's preparing for a fight this week, but it was a Muay Thai fight, if I'm not mistaken. So now she's coming in fighting in MMA. It's a different style, obviously completely different rule sets. Kareckaite obviously got the experience. She's going to have the reach advantage, but she doesn't use it in her fights. So what does it matter? She doesn't separate from her opponents, split decisions, and basically most of her wins in her career, all the way back to the beginning of her career. So, yeah, I feel like she makes mistakes in the octagon. She's low IQ. She doesn't use her best weapons the way she should. She gets into the clinch and gets, put down, controlled against the fence. I thought that was the path for Montenegro, right? Just get in her face, grapple, stay in close. But Tarin could maybe take that, same path. The regional tape on her is kind of hard. Like I said, I still need to do more film, but obviously the competition isn't the best. And she goes out, she throws a lot, big time. I think it's going to be a big volume fight. This could be an exciting match on the feet. I think Tarin could also maybe mix in the takedowns. I don't know how good, how much better she would be than Montenegro at doing it, but yeah, I think she could get on top here. I don't think Kareckaite is the best grappler, and she's very tall. So once you do get her down, can start to, take advantage of that. Obviously think also the, big shots that Tarin, if she does land shots, the crowd is going to get behind her. So I got to do more on this one, bro, but I'm going to go with the Tim special. It's got to be a split decision, bro. It's Kareckaite, right? So what's the split decision? I don't know the number, but I'm calling it.
It's not the best. It's plus 375.
Plus 375. Bro, I don't know.
They already know what Kareckaite does. So
my gosh.
The books know. But
so
I can give a little more insight on this Regina Tarin chick.
Bet.
Well, here's the funny thing about this whole matchup here. It's actually really funny. So the original opponent, Sofia Montenegro, I had a bet on her, by the way, at plus 270.
Vegas
I was fucking very pissed that the fight got canceled because she's a dog. Montenegro is an absolute dog. She will throw big shots, and Kareckaite is there to be fucking hit. Like she doesn't use her length, like you said. She will stay in the pocket, which is exactly what Montenegro wants to do. And then Montenegro mixes in takedowns really well. The timing on her takedowns was really good. Anyways, Montenegro fought on Contender Series. Remember against that Brazilian chick, Jesla Chavez, and it was a split decision loss, which I think she won. Do you know who Montenegro replaced in Dana White's Contender Series?
Was it the Chavez?
Against the Chavez chick. Do you know who she replaced?
No.
Regina Tarin.
Oh,
Regina
dope.
Tarin was supposed to fight Jesla Chavez. And the short notice replacement was Sofia Montenegro in that fight. Now they switch turns, and Regina Tarin is the short notice replacement for Sofia Montenegro, which is fun. It's very, very funny. It's like full circle moment. But the UFC had their eyes on this chick already, like Regina Tarin, right? They're, you know, she's an exciting chick. You know, she's one of those girls that's going to mix it up, nonstop forward pressure, mixing in takedowns, a lot of kicks, a lot of punches. She looks like she has decent power. Most of her takedowns are body lock, trips, stuff like that along the fence. She doesn't go double leg ever. She doesn't go single leg. I don't even think she knows how to wrestle, to be honest. But her body locks, trips, and stuff like that, sweeps off the fence, they're actually pretty good. She gets girls down. Now, the issue is she's facing a longer fighter here up against the cage. Getting those body lock stuff against these taller girls is not going to be easy, right? She's usually facing shorter girls. She's usually the bigger girl in the cage. So that's one issue for her. The second issue is her striking is kind of janky to me. Like, it's just not polished, you know. Even though Kareckaite is in the pocket and throwing, her striking is, her combos are a little bit more polished. They're straighter. Her shots are straighter. You know, she has very good cardio to match Regina Tarin. Regina Tarin usually has the better cardio, and she's overwhelming some of these girls. She's not going to do that to Kareckaite. Like, Kareckaite is very, very good cardio, right? So when I look at this matchup, I feel like Regina is going to need a couple of takedowns here, like along the fence, trips, because in the striking, yes, she can compete, but I think Ernesta's better. And I think Ernesta is going to land more and have more volume, right? So I do think it's a close fight at the end of the day. Do I want to bet Regina this late notice against a high volume, kind of high pace fighter in Kareckaite? I actually don't, because like UFC debut, 21 years old, short notice against a pretty good fighter. You know, Ernesta's not great, but she's good, right? She's good. She puts out enough volume. In women's MMA, you need a couple of things. If you're durable and you have good volume and you could anti-grapple a little bit, you can win a lot of fights, dude, just off of volume. Because women's MMA, there's not a lot of power. There's not a lot of knockouts. It's usually, most of the finishes are submissions. It's not KOs. So she wins a lot of fights like that. And yes, they're all fucking splits. It's unreal. Like, you can go back to that what's her face? Latita Block chick that's like 40 years old. She drew against her and she split against her. It's like, she can't beat anybody because of the way she fights. It's in the pocket, not using her length, not using her kicks a lot, and just swinging. So, yeah, she's going to give Tarin the chance to land big and make rounds look close in Mexico, which it could happen. So, because of that, I'm going to play Regina Tarin by decision at 3-1. I just think the line's good enough to play. I don't think she's going to finish Kareckaite. I'm almost certain of that. So 3-1 decision. And then honestly, play her split decision, Tarin. 10-1. Why not? Like, I don't really think she's going to dominate. Maybe she wins a unanimous. It could. But 3-1, 10-1. I think that's how I'm going to play this fight, honestly, because I do think Tarin has a split decision path here, maybe even a unanimous decision, but I think it's going to be close for sure. Like, Ernesta's pretty good, you know? So, yeah, I mean, that's enough with that. Let's see what else we got here.
Yeah, I like that one. Can't take Kareckaite decision. That's for sure.
No,
it's not a Lambo.
It's terrible. I think it's like minus.
It's minus 125.
Right? Isn't it?
Minus 125, yeah.
Yeah, her money. You might as well play minus 164. Why would you play that? That would be crazy. Let's see what else. Anybody? All right. Let's move on. Fight number 4. It is in the featherweight division. It is the 22-5 Javier Reyes versus the 29-6 Douglas Silva de Andrade. And currently it is minus 240 on Javier Reyes with the comeback of plus 205 on Douglas Silva de Andrade. De Andrade, the first thing that sticks out, guys, right away, right off the jump, 40 years old. He's 40 years old. He is moving up, guys, to featherweight here. He's been a lifelong bantamweight. But he's moving up here, and you could see it honestly in I don't know if you saw the face-offs. I mean, he made Javier Reyes look gigantic. There's no way Javier Reyes is 5'7", by the way. It's impossible. Javier Reyes got to be at least like 5'10", I would say. He looks 3 or 4 or 5 inches bigger than Douglas Silva de Andrade. So he is much bigger. Douglas Silva out. Another guy that's been out for almost 2 years, like 20 months. And this is going to be a reoccurring theme with this whole card. Guys that have been out for so long and coming back. We already had one in Silva. Here's a second one in Andrade. Last fight against Miles Johns. When I look back at a lot of his fights, honestly, like Laron Murphy, he was kind of competitive, right? I think he hurt Murphy in that round 3 or whatever. Said Nurmagomedov, he was kind of competitive. I think he lost 29-28. He won against Stamen. He finished Morozov. My point is, in the Miles Johns fight, he looked like shit. He did not look good. And that was 2 years ago. That was probably one of his worst performances, in my opinion, against lower level fight. I mean, not low level fighter, but lower level than like Nurmagomedov, than Laron Murphy, right? A lower tier guy. And he got pretty much dominated in that fight. He didn't look good. So now, 2-year layoff, he did not. And this is the other thing. In March, he was supposed to fight Castaneda.
Yeah.
You remember? Was that he needed a catch weight or something, or so he looked bad at the scale. Something happened that I don't remember what it was, but he didn't get cleared to fight, right? In that fight. He didn't get
medical. Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know what that was. Honestly, I really don't know what the medical thing was, but it's concerning at fucking, 40-year-old guy. I know he's moving up now, and maybe it was the weight cut thing. I don't know, but he's fighting a guy, honestly, that's extremely beatable. Like, I know this guy really fucking well, guys. He trains out here in Arizona. I know this fucking guy really well. I actually trained for a while with one of the guys that was in his gym for a long time, another fighter. I trained with him all the time. And he always would tell me, Javier Reyes, his best attribute is toughness and cardio. That's it. That's it. He said he beats everybody in the gym in the third and rounds and on. Like when they're sparring, it's always, halfway through the round 2 and round 3, he's beating up the guys. Round 1, they always get the best of him, So, and that's how he fucking fights, this guy. I know last fight, he knocked out Justice Torres. But guys, I'm telling you right now, Justice Torres, he's a skilled fighter, but he's shown over and over again in Fury fights, he has no heart. The minute he gets punched, he gets hurt, he's done.
I was like, yeah. And also remember too, that was like what, 3 days notice for him or 2 days or something like that.
Yeah, it was short notice. But Justice has done this before. If you look at his last Fury fight, favored against, again, he got knocked down. He literally quit in that fight. I'm like, he's done this before, So you watch a Lance Lawrence fight. Lance Lawrence is kicking Javier Reyes' ass in round 1. Then Javier Reyes started taking over, finishes him. Makate fight. Makate actually drops Javier Reyes pretty bad in that fight. And Makate is a wrestler, guys. He has decent striking, but he's a wrestler. So he did kind of try to put it on Makate in round 3. He came on. And that's the thing with Javier Reyes. You can beat the piss out of this guy. but he will keep coming if you don't finish him, right? You have to do what Larion Douglas did to him. Absolutely nuke him, right? So the issue is Andrade out for so long, elevation, medical, this, that, and the other. I wanted to play him, honestly, in this because I think he's the more skilled fighter here. There's no question, right? But I honestly have a feeling, and I know Andrade's only been finished twice. I have a feeling Reyes is going to break him, man. I really, really do. At elevation, Reyes has an insane pace. That's the only, like, if there's good attributes with this guy, his toughness and his pace is crazy. He does not stop coming in your face. He won't let you breathe. Andrade likes to, like, explode from the outside, right? Like, throw those big. Reyes is probably not going to give him room to explode from the outside, you know? So I'm going 2-3 here. I was kind of surprised to see the line 700 and 1,200 on round 3. I'm leaning more towards round 3. I think it happens later when he absolutely breaks Andrade. And when you look at Javier Reyes, right? It's crazy to see how many round 2s and round 3s this guy has. Insane. Go do your guys self a favor and go look at how many round 2s and round 3s this guy has. A ton. So he is a guy that will finish you later for the most part. He's not a big hitter. I know Douglas Silva's a vet. He's not been finished much. But, man, it's just kind of a bad matchup in that sense. Like the pace, the cardio, the pressure. Not the best thing for Douglas Silva. He could win. He could nuke this guy one shot because he throws very, very hard. But, man, it's going to snowball hard if he doesn't nuke him.
Yeah. Andrade, the other thing I could say about him too, like you said, it might be a weight cut. Maybe he comes up, fights, a better version after time off. It's possible. We've seen it with Levitt. We weren't sure what was going to happen. That was a weight down, but kind of looked a little bit better there. Obviously, Delvell, messed up. But anything is possible with the weight cuts. You don't know why fighters decide to move. He has fought at 45 before. Like you said, the fights earlier in the career versus Murphy. Reyes is no defense, all offense. He's chin way in the air. Eyes are wide, bro. He's literally looks like he's on cocaine or something, dude. Literally.
He looks like he's on it 24/7. Literally. His interviews, anything. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy on?
Hey, yo. I think I like the knockout. I think he could hurt Silva. It could be a club and sub late. I like violence here generally. I think Silva could hurt him, like you said, as well. He did wrap up the sub as well versus Morozov. So maybe, don't get too tricky if you're on the Douglas Silva side. Play the IDD if it's like a similar number. Sub is plus 3,000. If you really think you can hurt him, take the back. I'm not playing it, but that's a bit of a crazy number. And on the other side, like you said, maybe he breaks him later in the fight, like 2 or 3. Silva and Andrade, I think, could compete early. He's the more skilled fighter if Reyes is able to survive. Other guys, though, like Kareckaite, he was mixing in the leg kicks. He was mixing in. I think he's a more solid wrestler, So in a sense, like if Douglas does start to get pressure with him on the feet, Reyes could clinch up. I don't like his wrestling, though. His entries are very poor. He shoots from, some of these shots, bro, are from half court. It is pretty bad. So I think he could get caught that way, leaning in on an uppercut. Silva Andrade times it. But yeah, just youth, grits, like all the reasons you named on the layoff, not being medically cleared. I don't trust Andrade. I think he's going to get knocked out. So, I like the KO. And, I don't hate rounds 2 or 3 either. I might wind up looking at a way to play that. My worry is, just because Reyes did get a round 1 knockout in his last fight, and Andrade, not being medically cleared is what worries me. But I do think it comes later.
You know what? You got me thinking now. Because this is the way I like having. Okay, so if you look at Douglas Silva, the Andrade, and who he's faced, it's kind of almost impossible for him to get subs. He did get Morozov with a sub, but some of Nurmagomedov, Cody Stamen's a great wrestler. Miles John's a great wrestler. Laron Murphy, he's not subbing. Henan Barral, he's not subbing. Peter Yan, Marlon Vera, Rafon, he's not subbing these guys. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if there's a guy that he could sub, it's probably this guy. Because this guy, I know he's only been subbed once, but he hasn't really fought guys that are good grapplers. Like this, at the end of the day, Silva de Andrade is a black belt on the mat. Like it doesn't matter. Like I understand he doesn't have a lot of subs. He's more of a power puncher. But would I be shocked if fucking Reyes got hurt and like went for a takedown right into a guillotine and Douglas Silva just squeezed the shit out of him to sleep? I wouldn't, honestly. I would not be surprised. So is it 30 to 1? Are you serious?
30 to 1 on multiple books, bro.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I'm gonna play that. There's no
I have
fucking
to, right? Okay. Good.
30 to
I'm glad.
1.
I'm glad we
I'm
talked
playing
about
it right now. That's
Yeah.
crazy. What do they think Javier Reyes is? A
They're
fucking
smoking rock.
coral belt? What's
Yeah.
going on here? The guy's like a blue or purple belt. I don't know if people know that.
He's been hurt in multiple fights. He's been submitted before. I was there too when this guy submitted Morozov. He didn't have to go for it, but it just, he'll take it if it's there. I think that was his second career submission.
I have to play this 30 to 1. This is
Yeah.
insane, guys. This is legit insane. I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
30 to 1 on a sub prop is crazy. I mean, that when you mentioned that, I'm like, what? It's 30. I didn't even look at it, to be fair. I didn't even pay attention. I didn't look at it. But 30 to 1 is crazy. I'm telling you guys right now. Like, Reyes is not a smart fighter either. That's the other thing with him is like everything is about being a zombie and just constant forward pressure. So 30 to 1 is nuts, man. I just played it. I had to.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm
with you, bro.
Yeah, that's a good shout even to say it. Like, even though you don't think it happens, but
I mean, I don't. But 30 to 1, that's super tempting, bro. And then, especially if you're saying you like it too now, come on.
Yeah, I mean, because I started looking, I'm saying, okay, Douglas Silva de Andrade, he's only had 2 sub attempts in his entire UFC career. Right. But then I'm looking at these guys.
Who's fighting? Yeah.
He's not going to sub these guys. He's not going to out grapple these guys. So no wonder he doesn't have any sub attempts. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
who's Javier Reyes, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only guy I would say is maybe this Gaetano Perillo guy, but I think that's a jiu-jitsu guy as well. I know Simone subbed that guy, but he's a jiu-jitsu guy. So, anyways, and he knocked that guy out early in round 1, so there wasn't even a chance to sub him. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Fight number, what is this, 5 or 6 or whatever? It is in the bantamweight division. It is the 18-5 Christian Quinonez versus the 14-7 Chris Moutinho. Currently, minus 650 on Christian Quinonez with the comeback of plus 475 on Chris Moutinho. This one's yours.
Is it? Okay. Dude, yeah, I don't have to take long on this one because I think, Moutinho, he's all right if you let him stick around, but Quinonez, he's very live to finish, I think, here. He might not be the biggest power guy, but I think his striking is leagues above, and he's got some sneaky power. Both times, though, in the UFC octagon, that the last 2 times I watched him fight was against Ronnie Barcelos. Kang, he got subbed in both of those fights. He does get hurt a lot on the feet. I think that's how you get to his back and submit him, really, because he's got decent submission defense. Only other time I think he was subbed was in the fight before that. So last 3 losses come via sub. His win was against Taha. He got the knockout there. It was early. It was nice, but Taha, no longer in the UFC anymore. And that was years ago, man. He's very good, but he's out for a long time. I don't know exactly why he was out. I believe it was because of an injury. But on the other side, bro, it's Chris Moutinho. Like, he's got no defense. Got knocked out bad in his last fight. He's been knocked out bad a couple of times. The Sean O'Malley fight, he took, life-changing damage. Followed up, got knocked out by Canetti. Moutinho, he's serviceable at the, lower levels, like the regional fights. He's gotten wins there, but he gets finished in a lot of these. And I just think that it's a tough one for him. I think Chris probably knocks out Moutinho. It's a terrible number, though. The one thing I will say, bro, I don't know if I can convince you on this, but 3 of the last 6 wins for Moutinho come via the sub. Last 3 losses for Quinonez come by sub. plus 3,000 on a Moutinho sub, plus 7,000 on round 2, plus 9,000 on round 3. Like, if this guy gets to his back, it's a clear red flag for him. The guy's been choked down all the fights. I know it's Ronnie Barcelos, bro. Like, don't get it wrong. That guy's very good at jiu-jitsu, but I don't know. If it's in elevation, he could get tired. If Moutinho sticks around, shoots into a gilly. I'm trying to find something, Narco. This is a tough card, bro.
Yeah, I mean, this one. So I wrote here pass on this one. That's how bad it was as far as fucking finding a prop, because I don't want to just throw out something against the wall and tell people, hey, this is a good one. This is a good. There's honestly nothing I like. Like, what did I say the reoccurring theme of this card is going to be? Right? What did I say? I said guys that have been out for a long time. This is another guy, Christian Quinonez, 2 years layoff. And it's been injuries. And the other thing has been visa issues. He is not able to get in the U.S., he said, for whatever reason. Right? So he was either going to fight in China, and he said he got injured. So he couldn't fight in China. And now he's booked in Mexico. He's able to fight. Well, the guy is still 29. He has a lot of experience. That's a good thing. The other good thing is he's fighting fucking Chris Moutinho, which is a very good thing. I actually don't mind Christian Quinonez. I think he has actually good attributes. He has pretty good footwork, very good 1-2 right down the center pipe. He's got a strong right hand. Like, he hurts a lot of people with his right hand. He actually hurt Ronnie Barcelos pretty bad with that right hand. And Chris Moutinho fights out of the southpaw stance. So that right hand, that straight right, is the killer for a southpaw. Like, it's just the good punch for landing on a southpaw, right? The jab, cross, right down the pipe. And he throws a really, really good right hand. I think he's going to land it on Moutinho, honestly. Like, Moutinho is just, man, the defense is just not there at all. Like, there's just no defense, no head movement, no nothing, right? Just eat punches and walk forward and try to throw punches. Like, and, Sean O'Malley fight, fine, took a lot of damage. But guess what? That Sean O'Malley fight completely destroyed his chin, because he went against Guido Canetti, and Guido Canetti fucking knocked him out in round 1. 40-year-old Guido Canetti, right? So his chin is kind of dust, man, to be honest now. Yeah, he was tough in that fight, in that one specific fight versus Sean O'Malley. But after that, I mean, Guido Canetti knocking you out, Malcolm Wallmaker knockout was really bad, man. Very bad step-in right hook that absolutely face-planted him. It's a very, very bad knockout. So, I mean, it's been a while. Obviously, it's 8, 9, 10 months, whatever. Yeah, man. I mean, I wrote pass here. I don't think he's going to get to this guy's back. I honestly don't. Like, Martinez not even a good grappler. Like, I don't know what he's good at outside of, like, just taking punches. Like, he's not a very good at anything. Again, this is the kind of guy, right? Similar archetype, like Javier Reyes, right? Like, in the sense that he's going to try to zombie come forward and try to break guys. Because if you see Moutinho's wins, round 2, round 2, round 3, round 2, round 3, round 3, like, it's all round 3, round 2. That tells you the guy's just breaking guys for the most part, right? He's coming on. I don't think, from what I've seen, Christian Quinonez has good cardio. He put a absolute ass whipping on Long Zhao, and we know how tough Long Zhao is, right? In Contender Series, that Long Zhao fucker, he's got a crazy good chin, and he put an absolute whooping on him in that fight for 3 rounds. So I think he's going to knock out. Personally, I think he's going to knock out Moutinho. Probably 1-2. Line sucks. I don't even. What is the line? I mean, his knockout
Not
is
good.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. What am I going to give? KO1 is, I guess it's playable. Plus 320. KO2 sucks. Plus 490 is bad. So I think he's going to knock him out. If you ask me, I'm not playing anything here. I really am not, because
how could you?
I just don't like the pricing. Maybe Moutinho can survive round 1 and, make it ugly. I don't know. Again, a heavily juiced fight, and I want actually nothing to do with this fight. Let's move on. I think this is fight number 6. It is in the bantamweight division. It is a 12-2 Aileen Perez versus the 10-5 Macy Chiasson. Currently minus 185. Aileen Perez with the comeback on Chiasson at plus 160. I will take this one. Well, first thing that sticks out is 6-inch height advantage, 6-inch reach advantage. Macy Chiasson is much, much bigger than Aileen Perez. Problem is, does she use her size? No, she doesn't use her size. Man, Macy Chiasson should honestly style on, how does Yana Santos beat Macy Chiasson? I just don't understand. Yana Santos, 36, 37 years old, not the best takedown defense. How does she beat a girl like Macy Chiasson? And I can tell you, Macy she's the ultimate, when things are not going her way, she just sucks. She's just checked out, mentally checked out. Look at the Caitlin Vieira fight, dude. She's shooting takedowns. She's ending up on bottom. And she has no fucking clue what to do on bottom. Literally none. She's stuck there the whole time. And I know Vieira's good on top. I know Vieira's but she made almost no attempt to fucking get up, And she's off her back there looking ugly as hell. I do think Aileen Perez is going to get takedown here just because the other thing is with Macy is she kicks a lot. Those high kicks that I feel like Perez is going to catch something, get her down. Perez is physical, which I like about her. She is physical. She is good on top too, in my opinion. She throws decent ground and pound. I will say the last fight against Carol Hosa, I didn't like the one sequence where she got on top early and she kind of just fucking stood up after Hosa was kicking her a little bit. She just stood up and let her get up. I'm like, what's she doing? So fight IQ is a little bit of a question mark. Cardio is definitely a question mark because Pudilova fight, huge red flag towards the end of that fight, man. She got her back. She almost RNC'd her. I mean, that was very close to getting a sub, right? That same position against Macy, she might get subbed. You know what I'm saying? Big Macy on her back. So this is another fight. I want nothing to do with it, but if you want to take a flyer, honestly, for me, it's Macy round 3. Honestly, that's the flyer I like. I don't like much else, but it's 20-1. You want to take a fucking flyer? Macy Chiasson round 3, because you know what? If she does get on top of her in round 3, she can ground and pound her, or she can sub her. And I know Aileen Perez, she gasses, man. This is an elevation too. Let's just say she's struggling to get takedowns early against Macy, because Macy's big. And if she's struggling and getting tired, I think, yeah, Macy could. I'm not saying Macy has the best cardio, but I'm saying if she gets on top of her, she can absolutely smash her. So that's the only thing I could see, man. Just one prop, one round, round 3 Chiasson, 20-1.
Now, that's what I had written down as well. The only other thing I would think of is you mentioned, she's got some nasty ground and pound, Aileen Perez. I looked at the KO prop. It's plus 850. Those goat shed people, they get on top, they could do some nasty ground and pound. But I do worry Macy, after losing to Yana Santos, that was a really bad look. You mentioned the Vieira fight. She's not, she doesn't win a lot of these fights that I think she could get the job done because she's very athletic, but she just seems to not be able to put it together. She can get finishes, 5-2 to the finish. She's got very good elbows in the clinch and on the ground. She split open who was it? Mayra Bueno Silva. I know it was a cut stoppage, but
yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. And that's how she's able to finish a lot of her fights on the ground. So like you said, I don't hate the ground and pound look either. You mentioned the Pudilova fight, and Chiasson's a good back taker. She almost had Santos at the end of their fight. She got to the back, threw in the hooks, very nice. She's thrown him in against Quinonez, and not just the Pudilova fight, but Egger also got her. Took her back. On bottom, I don't think Perez is very good at all. I think Chiasson could definitely expose her there. And like you said, it's not the Chiasson doesn't have the best cardio, but if she gets on top, she's got decent body lock trips. She's tall. She could mat return you, put you forward. And if it's open mat, I really definitely could see her throwing in the hooks, getting to a mount. Yeah, I like the round 2-3 for Macy. I think it's personally sub, but now that you're mentioning, and I'm thinking about the elbows, she also ground and pounded another girl, I want to say, earlier in her career. I forget the name though, but she got a few ground and pound wins too. And she could hurt people on the feet too. I've seen Macy.
Actually, you want to hear a funny thing?
Yeah.
You know who it was? Larissa Pacheco from
On the Ultimate Fighter.
Yep.
Copy. Yeah, that's a hell of a win at 135 though, obviously. Yeah. I think Macy, it looked like she made weight this time. I think hopefully she comes in taking it seriously. And I think she's live to upset late round props.
Yeah. I mean, I do think the line's a little wide. I really do, but I didn't, just because of how like Macy feels like sometimes she quits, like mentally checks out in fights. I feel like Perez does have a little more dog in her, Macy, like, losing to that up kick when she was going to go on to win the fight, like weirdest fucking stop, just absolutely she didn't even try to dog it out. She's like, I'm done. Just lose. Fuck it. I get it. It hurts, but fuck, man, at least attempt to try to run away or something to try to stall out the fight. But
that's fucking hilarious, bro. I was going to say the last thing I wanted to say too is Perez. She I don't think, Chiasson's the best on bottom by any means. I think she could be a little bit of a noodle. She's not that physical. But I've seen Perez get reversed in a lot of spots. The funniest, yeah, that was the funniest though, because they're literally narco. It's like a fucking rinse cycle, bro. And I'm fucking cracking up at that. Bro.
And she does reversing herself, which is funny. Like she'll reverse when she's on bottom. So the thing is, Chiasson looks so bad on bottom though, man. Fucking yeah.
I could see
really, really bad.
Perez got
she obviously prefers. She prefers to be on top. So
yeah,
all right,
good fight.
Let's move on. I mean, that's one of the closest line fights, right? The two women's fights, right? All right. Fight number 7. It is in the middleweight division. It is the 8-1 Ryan Gandra versus the 11-6 Jose Medina. And currently, Gandra is the same price, -725 with the comeback on Jose Medina at +525. This one's yours.
Yeah. I mean, look, Medina's not good at much at all in the octagon. Not Luna. Gandra, we don't really know much about him. He got that Contender Series fight where he fucking put out Trent Miller. It was the first round knockout. So when he's, early in the fight, he can knock out anybody. He's got solid wrestling. I watched a couple of his sites where he got a sub. It says he has 2 subs. I watched the one submission. I couldn't find the other one. He got a submission from Mount, I believe it was.
No, the other one wasn't. It wasn't even a submission. It's a ground and pound. I don't know why they have it. The one against Porto was a ground and pound KO, and they have it as submission.
Okay. Yeah, I watched the Mount, like the one where he got the arm triangle in, but I didn't get the other one. So that's good to know because he only has 1 sub, and the sub number's not that good. I get it though. Like Medina's trash. This guy's brown belt. He's got judo in his back pocket, jiu-jitsu. Problem is, bro, he gets tired. I've watched in multiple fights of this guy where he could really start to gas if he doesn't get the finish or if he pushes for the finish. Medina is just, like I said, he's awful. Just basically in there to fucking lose fights against people who are better than him. He's not good at grappling. I think I could easily see, like I said, Gandra submitting him, taking him to the ground. His striking doesn't pose a threat, and he gets hit a ton. He's just basically he's tough and he can fight for 15 minutes, but eventually he's going to get finished and he's going to be out of the UFC, I think. So he'd have to weather a big storm here. He's going to have Gandra just gas out, but I think Gandra is just going to be able to get it done. Too hittable for me. Medina, not good enough to wrestle. He could get wrestled here. I could even be a ground and pound finish. So yeah, I like Gandra. Here, it's hard to pick a Lambo, so I wrote down KO1, bro, because he's got big power. I think he could hurt Medina, and while Medina's been tough, it's just only so long you could play that game for, right? Asking to get hit by guys with power like Gandra. The knee from Gautier was obviously going to put out most people, but I think Gandra could do it. I'll take KO1. It's plus 340. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Jose Medina is just not good. I mean, he's 0-3 in the UFC. He lost Contender Series fight where he got his ass whooped against not a very good fighter, to be honest, that Gadzi Zulov guy or whatever. And the only reason he's in the UFC is because he got his ass whooped and he didn't get finished, right? So he's in the UFC for his toughness. And, he's been finishing his last two. Obviously, last one was a sub against Dusko. I had that. I think it was a pretty good number too. But I will say, man, Gautier landed some big shots with his hands, bro. And this guy took him really remember he goes to him, come on. He told Gautier to come on. That's when Gautier, he threw a big shot, clinched him, and landed the big knee and dropped him, right? So Gandra does throw with power. He has decent striking for a big guy. I really don't think he's going to knock out Medina on the feet, bro. Like, I think Medina's chin is crazy good. Crazy good. He needs to land like something wild, like a head kick or something, or maybe to the body. That's something we haven't really seen much. Maybe guys go to the body against Medina. Maybe he's softer there.
Reyes kicked him a lot to the body.
Did he? And he took him?
He took him, but it was taking, you could see it was taking an effect, but he took him.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly feel like the thing is, Gandra only has 7.5 minutes to finish, probably, maybe less, honestly. And if he doesn't, I don't think he'll lose per se, because I think Medina has like no power. Like, I don't know. How does he finish? Like, maybe if he gets on top of Gandra or something.
Complete
I don't
death
know.
gas, bro. Just complete death
but
gas.
Gandra's been the decision, even in that fight. Like, yeah, he looked kind of bad. But I remember him getting on top of that dude that he fought, like, towards the end, like, using wrestling. And if he gets on top of Medina, let's say with a takedown round 3, is Medina gonna fucking get up off his back? Like, I don't think so. So I'm going with a sneaky decision prop on Gandra here, plus 390. Honestly, I think Jose Medina could survive. He could survive similar to what he's done in the Zach Reyes fight. I would say I would consider Zach Reyes just as dangerous as Gandra, I would say, right? He's very, very similar in the aspect of being dangerous, throwing big kicks, body kicks, knees, dangerous on the ground, with his submission. So I would kind of put him in the same range of Ryan Gandra. Gandra maybe has a little bit better boxing as far as hands, but I don't think he's got the better kicks than Reyes. So yeah, I think it's very similar, and I could see a very similar. And Reyes, if you remember, I don't think he'd ever been to decision prior to that against Medina, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Now it's crazy because now he's going to decision. It feels like almost every other fight.
Yeah, actually, he'd never been out of round 1, guys, prior to the Medina fight. So that's a perfect example of how this can actually go to distance with Gandra. Even though this guy finishes everybody, I think he can go to decision. Plus 390 for me.
I don't hate it, bro.
All right, let's move on. Fight number 8. It is in the bantamweight division. It is the 7-0 Santiago Luna versus the 8-3 Angel Pacheco. Currently, Santiago Luna, the line has ballooned to minus 800 with the comeback on Angel Pacheco at plus 550. I will kick this one off here. So I like what I see from Santiago Luna. He's 21 years old, young. He can grapple. He can strike. I also don't like what I see from Santiago Luna in the sense that he's very hittable on the feet. He gets way too wild for my liking. Against good strikers, we saw Quang Lee's not the best striker, but with the very first fucking punch, he dropped him, right? And he hurt him. So he's got to be very, very careful just swinging like he does, just thinking he can just blow through everybody, right? I will say that he's getting a good matchup in Angel Pacheco. Again, back to the common thing. A guy that's been out of the cage 2 years. Angel Pacheco, he's been gone for 2 years, moving down in weight to bantamweight. This is the second time he's fighting at bantamweight, because this guy was I want to say he was a career 45er, right? Yeah, even 55. Wow. He fought at 55 before and 45. He never fought at 35 prior to the Logren fight. So he's down to 35. Is that going to help his durability? I don't know. The thing is, Pacheco is Jose Medina, and Jose Medina is Angel Pacheco. But Pacheco's a little more skilled, right? He's a black belt on the ground. He has some boxing skills, like offensive boxing skills. He actually has decent boxing skills. The problem is he's got no fucking defense. Zero defense. Just stay in the pocket, go to war, right? Fucking Danny Silva fight. Like, what a fucking war, dude. How did he survive that fight? I have no fucking clue. But he took some big shots in that fight, man. A lot of big body. The body shots he took in that fight, I'm like, how is this guy not going down? And he toughed it out, man. He was hurt definitely many times in that fight. But I think he hurt Danny Silva in that fight as well. Somewhere in round 2 or 3. I think he hurt Danny Silva on the feet. And then the Wilson fight, he gets dropped immediately in round 1. Gets back up. His recoverability is crazy, by the way. He gets back up like nothing. Proceeds to do well at the end of round 1. And then he finishes. You could see he finishes Wilson. And Wilson, honestly, is not a bad fighter. He's got big power. He can wrestle. He's not a bad fighter. The thing is, this guy's been gone for 2 years, fighting a 21-year-old at elevation in Mexico. I think Pacheco has good cardio. I don't think it's cardio is an issue, or it's the defense is an issue. I have been seeing, I mean, all through social media, Twitter, everybody likes Santiago by submission. I honestly don't see it against Pacheco. I think Pacheco is a good defensive grappler, man. I don't think he's going to be able to sub this guy. He just got his black belt, I think, like 2 or 3 months ago. He's a good defensive grappler. I don't think this guy is going to sub him, honestly. Luna is more of like overwhelming, like just overwhelming his opponents into like who is he subbing? You know, that's what you got to look at. And when you look at the subs, it's his first 3 fights, and then this Baduyayev guy that you would think he's a good fighter. That guy's not good. I watched that tape. And if you look at that guy's wins, it's against all cans. Even he has a loss, that same guy, to an 11-9 guy, right? Like, he's not that good. His record seems to be good, but he's not that good. So, I like Luna here to finish, but I think it's later. I think it comes later. I don't think it comes in round 1. I think it comes maybe without just punishment later in the fight. A lot of like maybe even ground and pound. It could be ground and pound. KO2 is 700. KO3 is 1200. I really don't think it's a sub. That's the reason why I'm just going KO. I don't think he's going to sub Pacheco. And if anything, if he doesn't KO him, I think it goes to decision, honestly. So, yeah. I mean, Santiago Luna probably wins here. There's no hot take or anything, but I don't really love him as a prospect, honestly. I think he needs to tighten up a lot of things.
Yeah, I actually think, you know, he could be had in the grappling a little bit in his fights, especially when he starts to make some of these mistakes because he's over aggressive. I don't think it's gonna, you know, result in a loss to Pacheco, but I think it's something to look out for in the future. The Quang Lee was just a straight banger scrap off the rip. He finds the KO. Pacheco on the other end, I don't think he's won a single fight since, yeah, let's look back. Since 2022, this guy's not won a professional fight. That was in CFFC. He's out for 2 years now, like you said. Bad defense, very hittable, but I don't think he's ever taken a finish loss, if I'm not mistaken. So on paper, yeah, he's very hittable. Luna has some power, but I think Pacheco could clinch up. I think he can make moments competitive in the striking. I think like you said, they both have decent cardio. As the fight gets later, I think the finishing, you know, could go down. I like Luna by points, bro. I know you like the late finish. Plus 410 on a guy who's never been finished before. I know Luna is a finisher, but I'm just going to trust that Pacheco is coming back somewhat of a version. It's the Silva fight. He took a ton of, punishment there. And it's like, how long could you get that done for at, this older age? And he's what, 34, I believe.
Yeah.
But it's at bantamweight. And how long have you been out? And it looks like this is him fighting out his contract. I think Luna KO or decision's a good way to go about this. I don't think he gets a sub. Maybe you just play that and you fade the fact that you don't think Pacheco gets submitted. Could be like a club and sub.
I really don't think he gets submitted. I think he's pretty damn good in the jiu-jitsu.
So, if you think they're over equity, putting too much equity in that, KO or decision looks like it could be a decent number.
No, it's not going to be good. No. It's going to be like plus, because this KO is only plus 160.
Sheesh. Yeah, I'll take the points then. Plus 400, something like that on a guy who's never been finished in Pacheco.
Yeah.
I don't think he's very good. But
you want to hear a funny story? You know who Angel Pacheco's main sparring partner is?
Well, he trains at the, is it Moutinho?
Yes. Can you imagine the sparring with these two punching bags? What the fuck? That's just from sparring with these two. Yeah, they're training partners at fucking New England Cartel. Both these guys have been training there. Pacheco's normally in Minnesota. He trains at that jiu-jitsu gym. Start jiu-jitsu. That's where he was mainly training from. But I think he's moved over and started training at New England Cartel. So it was funny. I was watching. It was an interview that he said him and Moutinho were sparring. I'm like, oh my goodness.
You hit me.
Huh?
I said, you hit me. I hit you. It's just a fucking
it was just funny that they sparred, and they're fighting on the same card, which is even more funny. Let's see here. Let's move on here. What fight are we? Were on fight number 9 here.
Nice.
Fight number 9 is in the flyweight division. It is the 6-0 Imanol Rodriguez versus the 10-4 Kevin Borjas. And currently, Imanol Rodriguez, same price, minus 450. And the comeback on Borjas at plus 350. What was my play on Luna's fight? My play was round 2, KO2 Luna, KO3 Luna, 700 and 1200. All right, this one here. I think it's you. Yeah, it's you.
Yeah, this one's me. And I'm excited for this one. This is one of the fights that I got first that I am very excited for. So the fight with Imanol versus Joseph Morales, right off the rip, I think that's going to impress a lot of people because Morales is a very good prospect. And then he's, got that win against Idris, who looked decent in his last fight. So, yeah, I think Morales is very good. And he was very competitive with him in that fight, going back and forth. There was a lot of good moments in there. Morales had some grappling toward the end of the fight. Imanol takes his back, starts to look for the choke. Couldn't get it. Fight goes on. Bell rings. And it was just a great back and forth scrap. He's training with Daniel Cormier, too. I think that's going to be a very good look, bro.
Yeah, he's with Cormier this camp.
And now, does Cormier, this is a question I did. Is Cormier ever going to be in the corner? Or he's just strictly like,
well, because he commentates a lot, so I don't know how that works. I don't know if he's working the gig of commentating. I don't think he's
can't
gonna
coach.
Be in the corner.
Yeah, maybe he just shouts at him from like the commentary.
I will say here's my prediction for this one. I say he's in Imanol's corner. You know why? Because he loved this kid during tough. He loved him. He was his favorite prospect. I think he was his #1 pick. And then all of a sudden now, because this guy trained in Mexico, right? All of a sudden now he's training with Daniel Cormier. This is like his, I want to say this guy is his project. Like he wants to make this guy work. He talked, if you listen to that tough when he was talking, he raved about this kid. He loved him. So I'm assuming he's going to be in his corner because he has a close connection with this kid.
He should, bro, because this kid is very good. Like you got a prospect, go there and get it for him. And Borjas, bro, I'm not low on Borjas. I think he's solid. He competed good against Josh Van. He's got good boxing, good power. He's very susceptible to the low kicks. he, I think, is at a grappling disadvantage in this fight because he just, and most of the fights, because he just doesn't have grappling upside. I don't know if he's like a super defensive liability, but yeah, he's tough though. His cardio's there. Like, it's not bad, but I think he's at a significant skill disadvantage here. He's been knocked out now. I think his durability is lesser than Imanol by far. His win against Ronaldo was decent, but he had moments in that fight where some of his like I think Imanol could expose him in certain aspects of the striking. He's got a nice high guard. I think that could open up body shots for Imanol. I think that could open up takedowns for Imanol. And like I said, I think he could just go to the leg kicks if things start to get, he can't really start to pick him apart on the feet. I think he go back to that. So yeah, I think Imanol, the way faster fighter. I don't think his size is gonna, trouble him too much here. He's used to being the smaller guy. I think that Lambo's, I'm gonna go Imanol round 2-3. I think Borjas could survive a round. I also like the sub, bro. I know Borjas only one submission loss on the professional, but he's got multiple submission losses on the amateur scene. So that's something to look out for. And then if you watch the Costa fight, it was a ground and pound like sort of knockout, but he gave up his back, got choked. And like I said, I've seen Imanol go for these submissions. Training with Cormier, I know he's going to be fine in all aspects. So it could definitely be KO. I think Borjas is good to last around, but I don't think it's going to go much more than that. And I don't see it going to decision personally. It's plus 225 for Imanol decision. And I think he's too dangerous of a finisher to want to rely on that. So I like 2-3 in this spot. I like 2-3 sub. I think there's some good numbers there, and I'm going to hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean, I like one thing in this fight. I like sub, honestly, on Imanol because not because I haven't seen him wrestle a ton. That's a little bit of a concern. Like he doesn't really wrestle much. He likes to throw hands, right? He's a combat sambo. By the way, this guy is a combat sambo guy, like really good combat sambo. Like, yes, in this part of the hemisphere, not like in Russia and stuff, right? But he's winning championships in this part of the hemisphere. He's really, really good when it comes. And you could see like his hands are fucking good. He's thrown to the body. He's got good kicks. He's a well-rounded fighter for a 25-year-old with only 6 professional fights, right? The reason why I like sub is because of that round 3 against Morales, dude. How does he keep his back the entire Morales never stays still for 1 second in that back take. Not 1 second. He's doing all the right things. And Morales is a high-level grappler, right? Very, very good grappler. And dude, he could not get out of that back position. And Imanol just kept doing the right things, switching the body triangle. When he didn't have the body triangle, while Morales is trying to get out, he's getting the right side underhook. He's not letting him turn into him. Like just doing all the fucking right things to hold him there. And I know he didn't come close. I mean, towards the end, I think he was trying to get a RNC, but there's no way Borjas can do some of those things Morales was doing. You know what I'm saying? So I do think he can get to Borjas's back, right? And potentially sub him. Like when we look at Borjas, I was high on Borjas. Don't get me wrong. Because I think Borjas has good boxing. He's got a very, very educated right hand, man. The 1-2 from Borjas is really good, man. He lands it over and over again against a lot of people. He dropped Van with it. He hurt Van with it in round 3. He dropped Ronaldo Rodriguez with it. He hits very hard for flyweight. Don't get me wrong. He's got good boxing. And I think if there's a thing that I don't like with Imanol on the feet is he gets a little too wild. He gets a little too crazy. He could get cracked, right? I don't think he's going to get knocked out because I think he's shown he has a very good chin, right? But I do think he could get cracked, right? Last fight against Sumadarji, I kind of think Borjas was completely thrown off with the southpaw and the length of Madarji. He did not know like how to close the distance there. He's just completely lost. Madarji just piecing him up from the outside, and Borjas had no clue how to like close the distance, you know, because he was so much bigger than him. He doesn't have to really worry about that here, right? I do think he's gonna be able to land some shots on Rodriguez just because of how wild Rodriguez is on the feet. So Borjas is legit boxer, man. His stand-up is good. But one thing you mentioned he's been KO'd recently. Do you know how he was KO'd?
It was the leg kicks.
Correct. It was the calf kicks. Basically, he was done. You know, Costa destroyed his lead leg, and he was just absolutely done. The thing is, that's a theme that's happened in the Josh Van fight. His leg was getting torched up, right? And Van calf kicks, but not really that much. Like, yeah, he does throw calf kicks, but he's not like some calf kick killer or something. Imanol has good calf kicks. These combat sambo guys have nasty calf kicks. They train them all the time. So I think Imanol could kind of destroy that lead leg, honestly, because again, I say this all the time. When you're facing boxers, and Kevin Borjas is honestly like almost a traditional boxer. He's just throwing hands. They're lead leg heavy, man. Especially when trying to throw power. He's going to be heavy on the lead leg. Rodriguez is going to be able to, chop it off if he can. So that's a little bit of a concern where he just destroys the lead leg and makes him a stationary target and potentially finishes him. But I think the path of least resistance is take him down and use your grappling skills, because I think Imanol is really good on the mat. He's shown to me in that one round. That's all I needed to see in that one round, that I know he's very fucking good on the ground, right? I don't care if he's a white belt, if he's a fucking whatever belt. If you can control Joseph Morales for that long, who's a very high-level grappler, you're probably really good, and he's doing all the right things. So, yeah, I like sub here. 650 on Rivers. I just think it's kind of a big number. I also think that when Borjas lands on him, maybe touches him up a little bit, he's going to be like, screw this. Let me go to wrestling. And you know what? If you watch his training with DC, they're doing a lot of fucking wrestling. Single legs, do this, do that. I
was watching a video there. He was like kind of guiding him through. He's like, no, dude, he's so into it, bro.
He was literally coaching him through the position step by step by step. And then he started telling him, shoot from out here. Don't shoot from there. Shoot from out here, and I want to see you do that. So, yeah, I mean, I think he's going to wrestle. Maybe he doesn't. But I think DC is, if he's going to be in his corner, he's a smart coach. He knows Kevin Borjas' weakness is grappling, right? I'm not saying he's bad, but that's his weakness. And the other thing you got to remember, like, Alessandro Costa never really tried to grapple him because he just destroyed his lead leg. And it was like, he hurt his lead leg in round 1, if I remember correctly. Like, his leg he was already switching stances. Borjas was all fucked up in round 1. So, I will say the impressive one was the Victor Diaz one, because Victor Diaz is very good jiu-jitsu guy, especially early when he's fresh. And he had Borjas down a lot early, and Borjas kept scrambling back up, So, yeah, I mean, it's the number. It's 650. Do I think it happens for sure? Nah. If I had to guess, I think it's probably Imanol decision, honestly. That's how I would feel. My guess, but I don't like the number. Number's bad. I mean, it's Imanol decision like 270, I think. It's not a great number, knowing that this guy has finished all of his opponents except one, So, DA07 says if DC's in his corner and walkouts, you raise the subline. Yeah, I mean, you're not lying. You're not lying there, because he's got to probably tell him to grapple. I mean, and he listens to DC, I'm pretty sure. Like, he is, listening really well. Let's move on. Next fight. What fight are we? Fight number 10 here. Yeah. It is in the flyweight division. It is the 12-6 Edgar Chairez versus the 14-8 Felipe Bunes. Currently, Chairez minus 310, and the comeback on Bunes is plus 260. There's a couple of ways you can play this fight. I am going to play Chairez KO2 plus 850, KO3 plus 1200. I don't think, I'm going to say this straight up. People, I know Chairez has good jiu-jitsu. Felipe Bunes has elite jiu-jitsu. I'm telling you, he's got really good jiu-jitsu. Like, insanely fast arm bars, insanely, like, his hips are super, super fast early in the fight, like when he's fresh, right? He's very, very dangerous off his back. I kind of feel like, honestly, he's more dangerous off his back than he is on top, from what I've seen, at least. But yeah, I like KO 2-3, man. Bunes has shown a very, very bad gas tank. Very bad gas tank. Chairez goes to the body. He calf kicks very, very hard. He's got good cardio. He's training at elevation. He's got a lot of power for flyweight. And, you know, when you look at a guy like Bunes, guys, this guy hasn't had a win. Not one win. All right. And as far as winning a decision since 2016, he has not won a decision. All right. This guy is a round 1, round 2 merchant. I'm sorry. He won a decision split against Huáscar Cruz in 2022, which if you go back and watch that fight, like it was back and forth war, and that guy is not good. And that guy's like 40 years old, Huáscar Cruz, you know? And then you add the fact that he's 36 now. He's fighting in elevation now. It's just a bad thing for him here, to be honest. Like, I think Chairez is going to knock him out. Honestly, I really do. 850, 1200, 2-3. It could come round 1. It's a little, but Bunes is tough early when he's fresh. But yeah, I mean, I like Chairez here. I think he's going to finish this guy in 2-3.
It's a cardio factor too. He just slows down badly. That's like off a cliff too. So yeah, maybe a club and sub. I don't think Chairez like really going to submit. And where is the subs coming against? Like it's against Vergara, against Lacerda, Vasquez on the regional scene, which is one of the worst stoppages in all time. This referee, I'm telling you, you wanted to see a murder in there, and you shouted it too. Felipe Bunes' jiu-jitsu. I think it was Coach Santino said this guy is some of the best jiu-jitsu he's ever seen in the training room. So that'll tell you that the guy's live at any round 1 to go out there and get a submission. But that's his path. Outside of that, you know, he's been finished by Formiga, a guy who was the UFC, out of the UFC, couldn't make it there, couldn't cut it there. And Bunes, got finished by him. Josh Van fight, obviously the champion. He had some moments there early. He was able to take down Van, but the gas tank is another problem. And then when he's on bottom and he's tired, it's big ground and pound. And I just see Chairez starting to take over the later this fight goes. Maybe it's a square play, but I like 2-3 here. 2-3 KO is very dicey. I think it could even be, you mentioned it, I think he could hurt him to the body, finish him that way. Finish him with the body shot because, what gasses a guy even worse than anything is those body shots. You just don't even want to be there anymore. It's like, why am I getting so tired so quick? Oh, because I let this guy kick me or punch me to the body 20 times. So I think that could happen here as well. So I like it, man. I'm with you on that. That might have to go in a Lambo also.
The biggest weakness I see from Chairez is, he tries to play a lot of jiu-jitsu off his back sometimes, which I don't like too much. But when
he's dangerous, though.
Yeah, when you look at the Carpenter fight, though, and Carpenter's a very good wrestler, like way better wrestler than Felipe Bunes. It's not even close. He was stuffing takedowns early. He was getting right back up early, against Carpenter. And listen, Carpenter's a good wrestler, and he's a jiu-jitsu black belt, right? He's really good on the mat. He's not a stiff. So I know people are talking a lot about the Tyra fight where Tyra's an elite grappler. He's elite on top. Like,
yeah, he almost subbed him too. If I'm
and he almost subbed Tyra. Like, that was very fucking close. Tyra rolled over to his back because the guillotine was so tight, right? And then the horn sounded. Like, let's say there's 20 more seconds. Does he go to sleep? Tyra got up looking really woozy. Like, he's like, oh, fuck. Like, he almost got me, So, yeah, could he sub Bunes? Potentially. I don't think so, though, honestly. I really don't. I think Bunes has very, very good jiu-jitsu, man. He's like next level. I think he's, I want to say 3 or 4 stripe black belt. He's like up there. He's really good. And he's over there with the Pitbull brothers. Not like he's some joke. You know what I'm saying? So, the other, I said they could be played 2 ways. I honestly I played it as well, is sub 1-2 on Bunes. It's plus 1,000. I have to play it. That's his win condition. Yeah. 100% in my opinion. If Bunes wins, It's sub 1, maybe early 2. That's it. Otherwise, he loses all the time. So
if Santino's telling me somebody's got really good jiu-jitsu, hey, shit, he did it versus Jose Johnson too. I know Johnson's not a great grappler by any
did you
means.
see how quick he flipped those hips? And Johnson kept trying to do the right things to get out, and Bunes was one step ahead of him every time.
Followed him every time. Yeah, he's slick, bro. I do agree. And that would be a parlay buster for the ages, you know.
He almost got in the regional scene. He got these Russians, a couple of these Russians that are really good wrestlers, the guys that he lost to. But I don't know which ones. There was 2 of them. He almost got them in arm bars, a couple of, two different guys. And then finally he got that one other guy in ACA with a triangle arm bar. He's very good off his back. He's sick off his back. So, I mean,
I agree.
When you look at it, he's got a flying triangle arm bar, bro.
That's just crazy.
Just sick. Yeah, he's sick. All right.
That's nuts.
Let's move on here. Fight number, what is this? 11?
11, yep.
Fight number 11. Oh boy. Not this one.
It's a tough one, man.
It is in the lightweight division. It is the 15-3 Daniel Zellhuber versus the 33-17-1 Bobby King Green. Currently, we are looking at minus 405 with some money coming in on Bobby Green, and the comeback on Bobby Green is plus 305. This one's yours.
Yeah. Just let's be honest, man. Zellhuber's been a total letdown. 26 years old. The decision against Michael Johnson, that was tough, bro. He just, kind of didn't throw, let the fight get away from him, let Michael Johnson, a 40-year-old Michael Johnson, take that fight from him. And that was tough. The Hebovix fight was a really good one, but he's just overpriced in these spots where he fumbles the bag almost every single time. Trey Ogden was another one where he came out and, a guy who should be in Ogden and he doesn't get the job done. It's a big chalk. So when I see a minus 500 favorite next to this guy's name again, the bells start to go off a little bit, but he, at his best, he's very good striker. He works with Dewey Cooper. He's long. He's got the skills. He's got dangerous jiu-jitsu with the chokes. It's the confidence off of 2 losses. He doesn't throw, he doesn't put together that 15 minutes at the UFC level to have me confident to beat him. And then on the other side, you got Green, who's just a washed version of himself, bro. He had a split decision against Lance Gibson, a guy years ago he would have dusted. Gibson, not really a very experienced fighter. And that was a close fight, albeit, it was controversial, but it was a split on the cards. Thought Green won it, but close, and then you got the 2 finished losses. Mauricio put him out really bad at the Jalen Turner fight. I was there for that one, bro. Kerry Hatley needs to be investigated because that was a straight, years off of this dude's life. And at 39, it's just like, how many more could you take? So, yeah, Green, I think the way to beat him is you finish him or you beat him in a close decision. If you're beating him in a close decision, that means that he's live to win. So you're not covering minus 500. You got to finish the guy. And it's like, how do I trust, Zellhuber really to do it? He's got to throw. He's got to go. He's got to throw that output. But, for all the reasons, I think it's hard to say. I think Green could be hurt here. I think that Zellhuber should hurt him. And I think if he hurts him, bro, I think we could see, even if he doesn't, Green shot in on Paddy Pimblett. I don't know why he did it. Maybe he was eating the calf kicks, but I think this guy could wrap up that Anaconda choke. It's 40-1 on BetMGM for the Anaconda straight. And I think the sub at plus 600. I got it earlier in the week at plus 750. I threw a little sprinkle on it. I think it's a good bet, bro, just because, like I said, I've seen Bobby shoot himself into those spots. And so Hoover's got those long arms. I've seen him on Instagram training a lot of the grappling as well. So I think that's interesting. He is a black belt on top of that, and he recently got another stripe to his belt. So, yeah, I'm interested in it. I like the sub here for Zellhuber. I think he hurts him first and then, puts him that way. The only other way I could see it maybe is if you're on the King Green side, you take the decision, just thinking like this guy doesn't show up. But this is a hard one, bro. This is a very hard one.
Yeah, it's interesting. Zellhuber moved moved his camp. You know, I know he was training in Las Vegas for a little. You know, he's at Fight Ready now, which is very, very weird move.
That's a good note.
But it's a weird move to go to Fight Ready because Santino left, right? And literally, I mean, I talk to a lot of people out here and guys that go to, it's ghost town over there. It's literally ghost town. There's no bodies there. Everybody's left. All the pros, all the UFC guys have left. Like, I don't understand why he went there. It's Eddie Chan and there's some other couple guys that, you know, no one really knows who they are, that are training people. But I don't know why he made the move to Fight Ready. Maybe he thought like it was still the same gym or whatever. Maybe there's some kind of connection. I don't know. But yeah, he did. He said he did his camp at Fight Ready and he feels good and all this other stuff. I will tell you though, this is what I noticed with Daniel Zellhuber. I think it's a reoccurring theme actually with all of his fights. Trey Ogden fight. What kind of fighter is Trey Ogden? Trey Ogden is a guy that sits on the outside. He will kick you. He'll throw the jab. He's kind of more of a technical type of fighter, right? Like he doesn't want to engage in wars, right? He'll maybe try to grapple some. That's the kind of fighter he is. Lucas Almeida, an absolute brawler, right? Daniel Zellhuber does pretty well in that fight, you know. Christos Giagos, same shit. He comes in throwing big shots early. He's a brawler, right? He did well in that fight. Francisco Prado, same shit. Again, guys in your face throwing big shots. Same. Esteban Ribovex, same shit again. Guys in your face. But Michael Johnson's not. Michael Johnson's on the outside, pop shotting. Guy like Lando Venata, who he lost. You know, he won the fight 29-28, but he had trouble in that fight. Again, a guy that's more of a technician that's not going to brawl with you. Bobby Green is kind of similar to these guys. He's not going to sit there and brawl with you. He's going to pop shot. He's going to move. You know, he's going to do swagger bullshit with his head roll and stuff. But he's not going to sit there and just exchange with Daniel Zellhuber, you know, which is, I feel like if you don't exchange with him and make it a war, he just doesn't let out volume. He doesn't know how to go first against guys that are technical. You know what I'm saying? And I just gave you a perfect example of all these fights. It's aggressive guys versus technical guys. And he doesn't do well versus technical guys for whatever reason. Because I do think he's a good technical striker, but I don't know what it is. He cannot go. And he's looked awful in some of the, I mean, Trey Ogden fight was disgusting. Last fight against Michael Johnson. I mean, if I was in his corner after round one, where I just saw him just kick, and miss and miss and miss, I'll be like, hey, motherfucker, stop kicking. Throw your hands, dude. You know? And it's like, he just did that the entire fight. And it was like crazy to see. He got dropped against Michael Johnson, right? I don't know, man. I'm going to go with split decision straight here. Plus 650. Fight ends in split. Like, if Daniel Zellhuber fights like those other fights, like, you know, Venata and Johnson and Ogden, it could definitely be split here. You know, because Bobby Green, to me, is over the hill. He's done. Like, he's got a strip club. Like, the dude's somewhere else. You know, he won that fight against the late replacement, whatever, Lance Gibson. But, like, what the fuck is that? Like, who cares? Lance Gibson. Okay, you beat Lance Gibson by split. Like, I really don't care. The thing that sticks out, too, is, like, he's been finished a lot, man. He's been finished in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight losses. He's been finished.
Yeah, it's a fashion, too.
And this was a guy, when you look at him historically, doesn't really get finished that often before that. You know, a lot of decision losses. So, you know, maybe it's a head kick from Zellhuber, you know, like, I don't know. But I just went with split here. It's a yucky fight. If you're laying minus 500 on Zellhuber after what you've seen a couple of times, you're out of your mind. Literally out of your mind. He could come out here and destroy Bobby Green. I don't care. But the guy's untrustworthy. He's made it clear in more than one fight that he's very, very untrustworthy as a big favorite. So, yeah, I mean, that's it. Before I move on, next fight, guys, link is in the description if you want to join the free portion of the Discord. It's in there. I do drop plays. I dropped a boxing play actually this week, a plus 181 dog that absolutely nuked the other guy in round 8. So I do drop plays. There's some talk in there. If you like what you see, maybe you join the actual regular Discord. That's $25 a month. And with that being said,
yeah, go join my man Narco. He's one of the best in the game. He puts effort into it. He's one of the most transparent out there. You know, if he's not gonna shout himself out, I'm gonna give you some flowers, bro.
I don't like to shout myself out that much.
I know.
I let people, make the decision for themselves if they think it's worth it. Hey, 100%. Go for it. If you don't think it's worth it, then no problem.
Hell yeah, you're the man.
But they have to at least like and subscribe. Like, that's all I ask for. Like and subscribe. If you're in Rumble, like and subscribe. Follow there. Do all that good stuff. I have 13 on there watching on Rumble, so I appreciate them. 13. Yeah, I mean, I'm growing my Rumble. 117 followers there. It's pretty good.
You got a good community too. I like the chat, man. Everybody's
my community is literally the best community, man. Everybody gets along. Very, very good community. So I appreciate them. All right. Co-main event of the night.
Banger.
It is in the bantamweight division. It is the 13-1 David Martinez versus the 23-11-1 Marlon Vera, and currently same price, -310, +260. David Martinez, big favorite. Kickboxer versus Muay Thai guy, or I would say karate guy against Muay Thai guy. Marlon Vera, I guess he's kickboxing Muay Thai, but David Martinez is straight up karate. Like, he is dancing around the ring, kicking you, exploding into his punches. Good cardio. I actually was very surprised against Rob Font after round 2. It was 1-1 after round 2, and he kind of was slowing down in round 2. Rob Font started getting to him, and I'm like, oh, this guy, with all this running around, I think he's going to gas in round 3. Font is going to get him, No, he actually got Font in round 3 and actually hurt him at the end of round 3. So I was kind of surprised. I'm like, where did he get this energy from? And the guy is just like nonstop movement, kicking, exploding. That's the thing. Like, his style is the type of style where it's hard to maintain for 3 rounds, and he does it. And he's shown he could do it. And he's shown in the regionals he can do it for 4 rounds and finish guys. He finished the dude. I think it was Axel Osuna in the 4th round in that fight. So the guy's cardio is clearly fucking good. Like, I can't question. I mean, he's got 2 4th round finishes, right? He has good cardio. Like, I'm not gonna say, oh, Marlon Vera is gonna be able to break him late. Like, I just haven't seen it. Marlon Vera, on the other hand, it's death, taxes, and Marlon Vera losing round 1. Like, it just happens over and over and over again. And the funny thing is, in my chat this week, Marlon Vera said that he's gonna come out faster this fight. Well, Marlon Vera said he's going to come out faster the last fucking 6 fights, and he keeps doing the same shit every fight. So I don't believe him. He's not going to come out faster. He's going to lose round 1 at a very, very high clip here. So I think if you want to play Marlon Vera, wait for live per usual with this guy. This guy's going to drop round 1. It just is what it is. And Martinez, the other aspect of Martinez is very good in round 1. He's explosive. He's fast. It's just one of those rounds where Marlon Vera is going to have a hard time winning because his footwork is not the best. Marlon Vera, he doesn't cut off the cage very well. He follows a lot. All those things are bad against a guy like Martinez that has very good footwork. He's elusive. He's on the outside. He's kicking you at range. He's fucking jumping in and out, not giving you a chance to just swing, right? Which is what Marlon wants to do. He wants to get in the pocket and exchange. You look at the Sean O'Malley fight. Sean O'Malley did it with footwork and hands, right? He jabbed him up, boxed him up, used his footwork, never stood still, and pretty much dominated that fight. Martinez can honestly implement the same game plan with the kicking game and just keep moving and in and out with his shots. He can kind of implement the same game for 3 rounds against Marlon Vera. So, I don't know how Vera wins. Honestly, it's got to be big moments again. It's got to be him hurting, Martinez at some point in round 2, hurting Martinez at some point in round 3, and potentially winning a decision like that. Martinez has shown a very good chin from what I've seen. Quick point. He got dropped with a head kick against Axel Osuna in round 3 or 2. So that is something to note because Marlon Vera does throw head kicks. He does have very good head kicks. He was circling away like an idiot with his hands down, and Osuna caught him with a head kick and dropped him. He did recover really, really good. So this guy is in peak shape. I will say he looks to be in very, very good shape. He trains at elevation. I mean, Vera has been out there for like 2.5 weeks in Mexico training at elevation as well. So that's good. I don't know, man. The only thing that really sticks out, I don't think David Martinez is finishing Marlon Vera. I will say that he's never been finished in 35 fights. I'm going to go with Vera decision, small poke, plus 500. Still really, really tiny poke. I think there is a world where he has some big moments to just kind of steal rounds 2 and 3.
It's a tough one, man, because Martinez is, you talk about career trajectory, and both these guys are complete opposite ends. Martinez, rising prospect, big win. He took a step up against Rob Font and, didn't falter there, got the job done, more than doubled them up on the significant strikes there. I believe it was like you said, 1-1 going into round 3, but he put a dominant stamp and almost even finished, if I'm not mistaken, Rob Font at the end of that fight. I think that it was crazy too, because if I'm remembering correctly, the bell rang, but they didn't hear it, so it like kept going. I think you mentioned something that this guy's not been finished in all of his career, Cheeto, but I do think that durability might start to be going a little bit, possibly. Traditionally, like he's been durable, but I think when you see a guy like Figueiredo, big power puncher, dropping him, you start to say, oh, is that going to be the same for all the time? And I don't count it out that David Martinez, who's a big power hitter at this stage in his career, could hurt him and potentially knock him out. I think it's a David Martinez decision. I think he's going to pitter patter on the outside, use his movement. I think, the way, like you said, to stop that movement is to cut this guy off, maybe use the calf kicks, right? That could be a way for Vera. We've seen him go to that weapon. You start to kick to the calves, slow this guy's movement down and make it a fight where you could possibly have a chance to win. Because if it's just a back and forth kickboxing war or it's a I go, you go, Vera could definitely win that fight. He's got a lot of power. Like you said, big head kicks, good knees up the middle even. I think that it's a competitive fight. Lambo, I think Martinez wins the decision. So I guess, you go decision. Yeah, I guess I'll go Marlon Vera decision. I'm not confident in it though. He doesn't inspire me. I've never been a big Cheeto Vera guy either. I feel like, he's been checked out for a bit of time now.
Yeah.
I think Martinez gets it.
He's saying he's not checked out anymore, blah, 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 blah.
He's doing marathons, bro.
Same dog and pony show from Marlon Vera. I don't know. Like he commentates for UFC Espanol, I think. And I always see him, like when I went to the Apex, he's there. He's commentating for UFC Espanol. So he's got a decent gig with the UFC too. The guy has a huge following. I'm pretty sure he's well off right now. I don't know. He doesn't seem like the guy that spends a lot of money and shit like that, like showing off and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I think they're putting him in a main event in Mexico. They like this guy, obviously. Martinez, 27. I mean,
how do you not?
The thing with Martinez that's kind of surprising, honestly, they went from Simon Oliveira, literally the bottom of the barrel. In 6 months, he's fighting Rob Font, a top 15 guy, like right away.
Yeah,
which is crazy. That tells me that the UFC really likes this guy. Like they're trying to move him very, very fast. And now here he is, co-main event of the night. You know what I'm saying? Like they like this guy. There's no doubt about it. Like he's been 3 fights in the UFC, 2 co-main events back to back. That's pretty wild for a guy with only 3 fights in the UFC. So, they definitely like this guy. Yeah, they gave him a guy that's kind of dangerous, but a very good matchup, in my opinion, for him. Like, Marlon Vera, kind of at the end of his career, not end, but spiraling down, and I don't know, another kickboxer that doesn't have nowhere near the speed and the footwork you have, So, all right. Let's move on to the main event of the night. And this is fight number 13. It is in the flyweight division. It is the 23-9-2 Brandon Moreno versus the 9-1 Loner Kavanagh. And currently, get some money coming in on Loner. It is minus 191. Brandon Moreno with the comeback on Kavanagh plus 166. Man, this Kavanagh's been taking a lot of money, man. All week, basically. People like him. People like Kavanagh. They look at that fight against, Johnson, and like, man, he looked really good prior to that. But anyways, this one's yours. Main event of the night. What do you got here?
Yeah, bro, I'm excited for this fight. It's a good main event. Both guys are, fun fighters, in my opinion. Moreno, in his last fight, took his first stoppage loss. That was a tough one for me to watch because he in round one, he had a triangle. I don't know if he gassed his legs out going for the triangle because it was tight, but it wasn't tight enough. I felt like he should have let go and maybe moved on to the next position. The problem with that, though, is when you're on bottom and you got a triangle versus a guy like Tyra, if you let go of that triangle with any amount of time left, shit could start to go south. So I think that's what kind of happened. He's like, I know I don't really got this triangle. Maybe I don't put all my squeeze into it, but if I let go, this guy's going to be on my back next thing I know. So I think he kind of sold for it. And yeah, look what happened in that fight. Gets to the mounted position. I didn't like the reactions there from Moreno. Obviously, it was in the grappling, but I feel like you got Loner Kavanagh on the other side. He's coming in here hungry off a loss. He got knocked out by Charles Johnson. You could say it was to the cardio. He maybe got tired for the wrestling. I feel like he got a little too confident in himself. Ran in, caught a big shot from Charles Johnson. But look, another guy who caught a big shot from Charles Johnson, Josh Vanna, and look where he's at now. He's in the championship role. So Charles Johnson on his best day could get it done. And Charles Johnson also a very large for flyweight. That's the one thing I wanted to say. I actually saw him at the fights the other day, and this dude looked like he was bigger than Buckley. He was bigger than Buckley, a guy he trains with. So I thought that was interesting. So yeah, maybe the guy's just got unnatural power for flyweight. It's the short notice, the level of competition. A 5-round fight where Loner's never been in a 5-round fight. Moreno's been in 100 5-round fights, right? I don't remember the last one he not been in. Was Tyra 3 rounds? Tyra might have been 3 rounds, but it never wound up getting there anyway.
It was 3.
So, yeah. I think Kavanagh, though, is very good. Like, I think he's got skills, solid defensive grappling. His hands are very clean. He's got power on the feet for a flyweight. But if you're struggling, right, to get through 15 minutes of a fight, and then now you're in elevation, it's a 25-minute fight, Moreno at his best could definitely get it done, should get it done, but I just don't know where Moreno's at. I've been thinking this guy's fallen off since his last fight. I don't remember he's fought in Mexico City since, but I know he fought against Brandon Royval in Mexico City, and he did not look good in that fight. Compared to the Pantoja fight that I remember that Moreno, the Kaikara France knockout win, he looked way off there. Looping strikes, not, pushing that pace, not grappling, not as good. And you look at the wins for Kavanagh, they're not the best wins in the world. I do think that Jose Ocho is a solid prospect, but he's unproven compared to Moreno by far. Kavanagh, I think, is live to definitely hurt this guy, but Moreno should take over later in the fight. But I also think Kavanagh can maybe win those earlier rounds against the aging Moreno, a guy who's not at his peak, in my opinion, and maybe even possibly survive the later rounds. So I think you take this a couple ways. I think Kavanagh eventually is going to get to the top, right? Maybe not the top, but I think he's going to be a ranked flyweight. I think that Moreno could push him late here. It's tough for me, though. On a prop angle, I think you go Moreno late maybe here, or you look and say, hey, I know it was on the ground, but you took your first finish loss against a guy who is a kind of a dangerous finisher in Kavanagh. I don't hate KO 1-2 for Kavanagh. That's actually what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go KO 1-2. It's plus 1100. I think he's very live, very clean striker on the feet to hurt Moreno early if Moreno's not getting the grappling going. And I don't really know where Moreno is at in this point in his career, and I've really been seeing the steady decline. So it's hard for me to trust him at a chalk price tag. I still think it's dog or pass. The numbers come down a bit, though, so maybe you just sit back, watch, live bet this one, see where Kavanagh's gas tank at. And the other thing I will say is it's not a guarantee that Kavanagh is going to gas. You're kind of assuming it, right? Because look what happened against Johnson. But it's not impossible that he catches a second wind. He was preparing for a fight. Moreno was preparing for a completely different matchup. So that is things to be said here. But interesting fight. I'm very excited for it, bro, and excited to hear your take.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing with Loner Kavanagh. I know last fight he looked good, and I don't even know if he gassed. He got caught going backwards. He's definitely getting tired. He got caught going backwards and ate a shot there that dropped him. You know, he dropped his hands and completely put him out. But Jose Ochoa fight, he was also getting tired in that fight. Like, if he started out really well, looked really good, and guess what? Jose Ochoa hurt him to the body. I think it was in round 3, if I'm not mistaken. He hurt him to the body. And what Loner does quite often is when the pressure starts mounting and he starts getting a little tired, he shoots. And he's actually a pretty good grappler. He's a good wrestler. He gets people down. But I feel like he does that to kind of break pressure and kind of like rest, right? To break, you know, on the feet so the guy's not coming after him, right? And he kind of like lays there on top. He doesn't really do a lot when he's on top. And I don't think he's going to be able to do that here. Like, maybe he gets Moreno down. I'm not saying he can't, but Moreno's not going to just lay on bottom, right? He's going to fucking make you work. He's going to make your life a living hell, right? If you're on top, he's going to reverse you maybe. He's the better grappler of the two, Moreno. There's no doubt in my mind, right? For even the Felipe Dos Santos fight, right? If you look at that fight, the pressure started mounting. Santos started landing on him round 2, round 3. What did Loner do? Takedowns. He got Santos down. He got him flat on his back. Santos not very good off his back. Can't really get up. Time started ticking off. Won the fight. Charles Johnson fight. Again, he went to takedowns in this fight, right? But what happened in this fight? Charles Johnson doesn't really settle on bottom. He continues to make you work. He's scrambling, this, that. And he got up. This guy eventually got tired a little bit, made a mistake, got knocked out. My issue in this fight for Kavanagh is, I'm going to tell you right here, I think he's the better overall striker. I think he's faster. He's got, and I don't say this too much because I think Moreno's a really good striker. He's got a very good jab. He's very long. He's awkward, right? But he has good fundamentals as far as defense and all that, right? Loner is just faster, man. He's got very fast hands, very good footwork. But all of that being said, he gets all of that fastness, that footwork starts slowing down big time in rounds 2 and 3 with this guy. Even the fucking Cage Warriors fight against that guy that he was absolutely murdering. Sean Marcos de Silva. He was kicking his ass. He dropped him, hurt him. Loner got hurt in that fight in round 2 or 3. I don't remember which round against that guy. It's a fucking bad look. You know, this is a reoccurring theme with him. He gets tired later in these fights, you know? And, you know, some of those guys are decent. I'm not going to say they're terrible. Now you're taking short notice fight. Okay. And he was training for a fight, I think in March. Who was he facing? Bruno Silva, right? Again, a different fighter than Moreno, especially level-wise, right? Bruno Silva's kind of at the tail end of his career. He's kind of done, right? But now you're taking a 5-round fight. You were training for a 3-round fight. That was in 2 weeks from now. Now you took a 5-round fight, at elevation. Your gas tank is already suspect to begin with. Your chin is suspect because he's been hurt, like I said, in these other fights. And one other thing that I haven't heard people mention this too much. This is the second time I mentioned it. He has a propensity to get hurt to the body. He's been hurt to the body a couple of times already from what I've seen. And Brandon Moreno has a very good switch kick to the body. He throws it, and guess what? That's the same kick that stopped what's his name to the body.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't like, for whatever reason, he does not like body shots because Charles Johnson's sequence prior to him knocking him out, he had him up against the cage and he shoe shined him to the body. Charles Johnson did. And you could see like Lohner wanted to like immediately try to grapple. It bothered him. And I think Moreno could really hurt this kid to the body, honestly, especially later in the fight as this kid slows down. So, you know, from a technical aspect, from a skill aspect, I think Lohner is very good. But he has some big deficiencies in this fight. Cardio is a main thing for me. Yeah, I don't want to blow one fight out of proportion, but you add the fact that it's elevation, short notice, 5 rounds, 3 to 5 rounds, guys. 3 to 5 rounds at elevation. It's going to make a huge difference for this guy. He's flying in from, you know, England, top team, wherever the hell he trains out there, right? It makes a difference. So I'm going to go with Moreno 4-5, just 4-5. It could be 3, honestly. I should probably add 3.
Add 3. Don't play yourself.
3 is what? 3 is plus 1,000?
Yeah. I think it's 4 or 5 decision, but 3.
Oh, 1,200. It's 1,200.
Yeah, it ain't bad.
But 4 is bad. 4 is 1,300. They didn't even give us they know
what's up, bro.
These late round pops are dangerous. So
they figured it out.
mean, that's what I like. I think Moreno could finish this guy later, man. I really do. I think this guy slows down. I know Moreno doesn't have the biggest killer instinct. That's one thing I hate. But he hurt Albazi, couldn't finish. But Albazi is tough as fucking nails. I mean, we just saw him eat fucking punch after punch from the Japanese guy and not go out. You know, he kept getting hurt, and he just couldn't get him out of there. You know, so
one thing Albazi is, he's definitely hard to finish.
He is hard to finish. And I know people are saying like he's like Moreno hasn't looked great. I thought he looked great in the Albazi fight, honestly. I know it's Albazi, but he looked fucking great there.
Yeah,
he looked great in that fight. Saying. I mean, even Usyk fight. Did he lose a single round in that Usyk fight? I don't think so. I don't even think he lost a round in that fight. Maybe one. Let me see. I might be wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of a wrong fight, but I could have sworn he didn't even lose a round in that fight. He lost round. No, he won 4-1. He lost round 3. He lost round 3. So, I mean, pretty dominant win. I mean, listen, Usyk is a guy that won 2 rounds off Pantoja. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel like he's washed, honestly. I think it's kind of more
decline.
Like, it's like, is the heart the same that he wants to fight like he used to? You know, before it was like all Mexican heart, like just absolute warrior wars with Davison Figueiredo, you know?
Yeah, I was there for one of those.
Is it still there? Is the fire still there? I feel like it's more is the fire there instead of are the skills.
The skills are declining, right?
I think it's there. Everything is there.
Yeah.
But is the fire still there? That's the question. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like the late round props here. All right.
What's your before we do what's your background in like striking, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, I did boxing like almost my entire life. Now I've been 3 years. I've been doing Muay Thai and kickboxing.
Oh, so that's dope, bro. Well, I like.
Yeah, I just do it with because my son does wrestling and jiu-jitsu.
Nice. Shout out.
So while I'm there, I work out my first hour and then I do my Muay Thai or kickboxing the next hour. So
very cool, bro.
Good to stay in shape. You know, I'm about to be 50, dude. Like I'm getting up there. There, but I stay in shape. I'm in really good shape as far as like 50. I can run, I can do everything. So
you need your body, you know. We could do this stuff forever, but our body is part of it, right? Your brain only works, you know, it could last forever, but you need to feel good to you know.
If your heart, your body's gone, you're gone. You're done.
Yes.
All right.
Let's do this.
Lambo parlay time. I can give mine. I'm already ready. I'll give mine first. It's not the best one. It's not the worst one, but the odds are decent. It's basically a mix of Chairez and Marshall 2-3. You get the prices are not great. That's the thing with these two, but it's 18-1 all the way up to 47-1. So if we hit one of those, it's still be a good night. So yeah, I mean that's the only thing I have. What do you have for your Lambo parlay?
I like it, brother. I like it. I ain't gonna lie. I had a idea of 1-2 because I think it comes in round 2. Maybe I was gonna go for that, but since you went with something similar, I'll switch it up. Look, for me, I don't really have a great background in striking, Narco. I'm a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. I've gone to many competitions. This year, I'm gonna go back to it. You see, I got the Naga medal right here. We need to go get another Naga medal or something, have some fun with it. So I'm going to go for some submissions. I'm going with 2 people that I think have an advantage if they take this fight to the ground. I'm going to go with Imanol sub. And then you're going to mix that. That's plus 550 on FanDuel. I'm sure you get a better number somewhere else. You're going to mix that with Schultz round 1 sub. That's going to get you 51.
Do 1-2. I would do 1-2 with Schultz.
And then I'm gonna do sub round 2, and that'll get you 109-1.
No, just do 1-2. You'll get a better number.
Oh, okay. It'll
FanDuel
be easier.
Gives you a better number if you do the sub 1-2.
Oh, I see it. Okay, plus 490.
Yeah, it's gonna give you a better number
37-1
overall.
Okay, yeah, no, yeah, because I could just take the 20 I was gonna put on each and put 40 on.
Yeah, you just do this, and then it's gonna give you more out for sure.
37-1, bro. I like it because then I could win. Yeah. I don't have to win one or the other. I win
sub 1-2, 37-1. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. All right. That is it. 500, and we got to 500 live viewers. That's not bad. That's not bad. 513 live viewers. Appreciate all of you. Actually, we have more. We have 513 plus 17. All right, we got 540 or 530. I can't even do math anymore. Appreciate our guest here, MMA Jewish Bettor. Thank you for joining first time on the show. Thank you to everybody in chat. Appreciate all of you. Thank you very, very much for the support. Please like, subscribe, comment, because commenting helps. I can't even post these videos on X because they somehow nuked the video. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I mean, if you could share it, comment, do all that good stuff, I appreciate it. If you do put out comments on there, I try to answer almost all of them. I will have timestamps up right after this, but I'm going to give the floor to our guest here, MMA Jewish Bettor. If you have anything, let the people know where they can follow you and stuff like that. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's at MMA Jewish Bettor. This year, my plan is to start doing the streams solo on my YouTube channel, Jewish Bettor. Hopefully, you could get some guests on there as well. Maybe my man NarcoCop. I would love to have you on. And let's eat for this card, bro. I'm excited for it. It's a tough card to break down, but we got through it 2 hours. I'm very excited to see what happens with it, and let's make some money, guys.
Yeah. Again, thank you to our guests. Thank you to everybody in chat. Good luck tomorrow. Also, Discord link, guys, down below for free if you want to get into the free section. And then, that's it. I don't have a lot of bets for this card, I will say. I'm going to look at the boxing card. There's a decent boxing card tomorrow, so I'm going to be capping that. Nice. But yeah, again, thank you very much to our guests and everybody in chat. And let's cash those tickets for UFC